Welcome to BeerNet Radio. Listen to on every continent except Antarctica. B-E-E-R-R-N-E-T.
Beer.
BeerNet Radio.
Yo, 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 yo.
Bing bong.
You and your bing bong. Can you let me ask a few questions?
Of
Because,
course. What are you talking about? You always ask questions.
okay, wait, because BeatBox, I love them to death. That's why I'm wearing these cool glasses. I'm rolling with the cool kids now, right?
Yeah,
But
finally.
like, they always roll up with like 10 people on the call, and then Justin busts out his spreadsheet. You got to get in there.
No, we'll we'll bust in. Bust it. Dun.
Somebody's well rested.
Yeah, not really. I'm in that delirious stage.
I see.
Yeah. But yeah, busy week. So yeah, we've got Justin and Amy. Oh shoot. Uh-oh.
They're like, let us in.
That's my alarm. I hope YouTube doesn't ding us for copyright infringement.
Was that main skin or whatever?
Yeah. Love it begging.
Yeah, I hate that song.
Oh, you're so stupid. That
It's-
song's wonderful.
You're so stupid.
You're so stupid. You're such an idiot.
God, I hate you for hating that song.
All right. Well, why don't we get this shit show started? I guess we'll have to tag this one as explicit. Let's get this fucktonery done.
Fuck tunnery. It's a good thing my daughter's not in the room. Well, I'm sure she'll be teaching me words and quite soon. She's 4.
Yeah. I have yeah. Anyway. All right.
Okay.
Okay then. I was gonna say
talk.
something decided against it. It's the old man Harry's growing up.
Uh-huh.
Trying to.
Hey guys.
Look at the shades.
I like
Yeah.
beating the box. What's going on here? Look at everybody in one room.
Hey, Harry, you got a new cool background. You've
Damn
really
right.
stepped up your podcast game.
I know. The only problem is that I'm in kind of a high chair and the dog can't join me anymore. But don't worry, she's here
Amazing.
somewhere. Hey, so we got all the guys from BeatBox and loving the tetrapak, loving the boombox you guys got me at the summit. Millicent has pretty much absconded with it. It's all right. I'm letting her borrow it because
Permanently borrow it.
yes. Well, and she's doing a photo shoot with some of your products, and she wanted to have it as a prop. And when I say photo shoot, we say photo shoot. That means we invite a friend over with a camera, and take pictures.
It sounds cooler when you say photo shoot.
Yeah. It's a photo shoot. So good. Well, thanks for coming on BeerNet Radio. We just wanted to get a tune-up with you guys because it's been a while. Like I said at the summit, I see your product not surprisingly, but I see it in a lot of places that are not, it's not an authorized product. In other words, there's a lot of independence, a lot of distribution out there, especially at checkout. And it's a real, it's a great impulse buy. So tell us how things are going and what's the latest.
Man, we ended last year just so much higher than we even thought we could possibly do from both revenue depletions. And I think what's so exciting about it, so just, for some numbers, and you can go, we have a crowdfunding for equity campaign going. So all the numbers are out there. So happy to talk about it. But we did 7 million as a company in 2020. We thought we would do 13.5 million in 21. We ended up doing 18 million. So we shipped over 800,000 cases, depleted 720,000 of them. And what was so exciting about that was the reason for the over delivery was not because we just opened up all these new accounts. So the pattern that we've seen, and we see it in Q1 again, is we're doubling the accounts year over year, but our velocity per account is up 25% year over year, meaning our depletions are up over 125% because same store sales are going so much higher, driven because the consumers are literally begging for a BeatBox in their stores. Like, it's hard to communicate the lightning in a bottle that we see from the DMs.
In a tetra, lightning in a tetra.
Yeah, lightning in a tetra, I should say. Like, it's good. Not lightning in a can or a bottle, lightning in a tetra. That's a good one. You know, as of the last 90 days, 3,500 unique visitors are coming to our website and putting in their zip code in our store locator, trying to find every single day, 3,500 people. Now, what's so exciting about that is once you know the store that has it, you know it's at your local Circle K or your HEB or anywhere. You don't have to go back on the store locator to find it. You know where you go. So these are all new customers that are discovering the brand and coming into it. So blew it out the doors last year, led by our consumer demand, led by wholesalers seeing the profitability, seeing the incrementality, and really getting behind it. And in Q1 this year, we'll do 6 million. We've shipped over 1.2 million cases in the last 12 months. We'll do 6 million in Q1, up from 2.7 last year. And again, accounts about up 80-90% year over year. Depletions up 125%. It's pretty phenomenal, and we don't see it slowing down.
And the folks are finding it, of course, we did a lot of digital social media stuff during the pandemic, but now we've got music festivals and events happening again, and it's all just working together for this massive moment for brand awareness, and we're seeing it in velocities, which is awesome.
Yeah, because so much of your brand is tied to music and music festivals in particular. And wow, you launched and then boom, there aren't any. I mean, it did kind of give you a little bit of breathing room, though, to kind of lay the foundation, get distribution in place and those kind of things so that now you can really kick ass. We decided early on, before you guys got on, I used fucktonery or something. And so I says, well, we're going to have to tag this as explicit on Apple. So we might as well just start cussing like fucking drunk sailors. So excuse my pancakes. All right. Jen, go ahead. I think I might have, I'm really trying, especially during Women's History Month, not to talk over Jen or mansplain or do all the horrible things that I'm known for. So go ahead.
I have a week left, guys. So I'm going to milk it for all it's worth. So yeah. So yeah, speaking of Music Fest, were you guys at South by?
Yeah, we did a couple of events during South by. South by is always, it can be something that's like, so appealing, and then you really dig into it and you're like, it's not worth a lot of the spend that we see. But due to some of our partnerships with some social media groups, we were able to get product to a few really cool parties. Mark Cuban was in town. Yep. Got to hang with him.
Beatbox with him.
We had some beatbox with him for a few hours. So.
And you guys didn't call me? Amy, come on.
Had a really fun moment. We did a panel with WeFunder because they're part of digital, interactive, and everything. And we were sitting in the corner, and I was like, "There's a guy that looks like LMFAO over there." And then he ended up being Red Foo, the actual guy. Yeah. And so we had like a beatbox and LMFAO party rock moment at my WeFunder panel. So that was pretty fun.
Like the whole place, like 60 people there for a panel, and they're all going nuts, dancing with beatbox and playing party rockers.
It was fun. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, there used to be a time when we first launched in Austin at South by 2014, big bag and box. And remember, each South by felt like it was our entire Super Bowl, if you will. And now it's like, the same weekend of South by, we had 3 music festivals, all in different states with hundreds of thousands of people. We had a film festival we were doing. So like the scale of which things are coming, it's just it's so fun.
It used to be just South by. Now we have our fun random South by moments plus spring break and all those fun things all over the country. So
well, I mean, you guys are you're Austin based. I'd want to get out of town during South by. I mean, that's
Airbnb your place,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's been unbelievable to see just all of the work that you put in for years, and then in the last 3 years when we made the switch to the beer distributors and what they've been able to do with our brand. I think we'll have for the first time ever 20,000 accounts buying in March in 1 month, right? So it's a big milestone, right? And then you look at it and you say, okay, 20,000, that's a great milestone. It's up 100% year over year, but there's over 220,000 off-premise wine licenses in the country. And then you have another 250,000 in the on-premise that we're only in 500 of, and they sell double the velocity of the off. So, you know, the sky's the limit with what we could do.
We were catching up with another a beverage entrepreneur, well-known CEO, and he's got a really fast-growing tequila brand. And we were just sharing our Nielsen data, how we were #1 and points, and we're like, everything's going so great. At the same time, we wake up pissed that we are not in more accounts, and that we have 3,000 people, customers begging us to just want to get the product. So as good as it is, it's like
it's our you know, favorite 3-tier system, and cracking that as an independent brand. It's you know, you wake up every day and you're competing against, you know the names.
Our story is the same as so many independent brands. We're just the hungriest warriorist of them all, trying to get it. So
listen, you guys, when you think about it, that's a barrier to entry. You know, if it were easy, everybody'd be doing it. So you know, and just before, one more thing to clarify.
Jesus Christ, I'm not going to talk over Jen. I'm not going to talk over Jen the whole time.
Okay, Jen.
This is my life.
I just wanted to clarify. Did you say that velocity is faster in the on-premise?
Yeah. So we have about 500 accounts in the on-premise, and they range from everything from, you know, a college bar to a, you know, water park to bowling alleys to, you know, shot bars. I mean, it's across the board. There's even a biker bar in North Dakota that's done like 80 cases in the last 3 months. So it's because in this new world of speed of service, you know, short staff, you get one of these things, you pass it over the bar, you can do it in mixed in cocktails, you can do buckets, fish bowls. It really is a versatile and very low cost per ounce. And so those 500 accounts are selling almost 10 cases per account per month. And so we've actually just brought in a VP of on-premise, and we're going to slowly build out our on-premise team, because that's just completely open white space for us for the next, you know, 24 months, where you're talking about 500 accounts. And I said, there's 250,000.
Okay, I'm glad you asked that question, Harry, because that was actually very interesting. I want to go back to the distribution piece, because like you said, you're, you know, independents trying to break through as well as you've done, you could do even better, right? And I think you guys transitioned out of Reyes in California, right, into the AB branch.
Yes.
And I'm curious if you can share, like, how has that gone, not being an AB brand? Are they giving you the focus? And you're with other branches too, right?
Yeah, we now have, I think, close to 14 or 15 wholesalers in the state of California, obviously the AB1 network, and California is up 700% year over year. So
Okay.
we're seeing some significant traction. It went from like our 20th state overall. This year it's in the top 3.
Oh, wow.
And so significant turnaround. I think our team, I would credit them completely. They, you know, have come from the AB world. They know the people there, and they've really communicated and educated the wholesalers on the incrementality, the high margin. And it really is, you know, I was talking with the EVP over at our wholesaler in South Carolina, Better Brands, Jason over there. And he, you know, they've really done a great job with us and getting us into a lot of new chains and new business. And he said, you know, guys, he's like, you know, they're making 2.5 times the GP on their core domestics portfolio and gross profit, right? And they were looking for products that bring them incrementality to a door that they don't typically go into, whether it's in the grocery or C-store channel. So you're talking about the F&B door, then you've got this cold wine kind of RTD door. And, you know, we're a wine product, which is, they don't have a lot of, and it's moving at the rate of the F&B. So they get to take that wine section and drive velocities that they're used to in the other door and making double the money on it, right? So once the wholesalers understand that picture, it's off to the races. Capital Right in Austin, you know, talking to Jason and Derek over there, and they are saying the same thing. They're like, and it's the people, right? It's the investment in the team and investment in the market that we're making, which is playing with the big boys, even though we're a small brand. And so AB has been absolutely amazing out in California for us, completely changed that state around.
How about the BeatBox Zero Sugar? Is that contributing significantly to how well you guys are doing this year? Because, you know,
it's still, we're just getting it out there right now, literally. So it's, you know, we designed it with some markets in mind that a higher ABV product couldn't go. And so in Pennsylvania, we were the first ever, I think, wine on a beer truck. And so that led us to making a lower ABV product. The category of lower ABV is growing, but it's still small. So it's definitely an incremental play for us that we're seeing. There are consumers that they split down the aisle. I will drink sugar or I will not drink sugar. And if you're not drinking sugar, you're never picking up a BeatBox 11% ever. So this product is for them. And once you taste it, being a wine base versus a malt liquor, or it's not even a comparison. So the value proposition is super strong. We've just actually launched it too in a variety pack, which we think is a really compelling offer. Because most of the seltzer zero sugar options are all in variety packs. So we're gonna go toe to toe this summer with our zero sugar product against all the big players.
And it gives us a window into the Whole Foods, the Sprouts, the natural food grocers that we never could play in before. And if you can create a brand that can play in both the C-store, grocery, and also the natural foods and drive incrementality across the board, we see it's only in 900 accounts, but it's growing fast. It's doubled in the last 2 weeks. It'll double again because it's getting out there. The accounts so far that have both see a higher velocity overall than if you had one or the other. So that's encouraging, right? It's like, okay, you're bringing in new customers and new people trying it, but it's just a really cool brand extension. We'll see what it does.
The variety packs, are those cans or are they still Tetra Paks? 6
Tetra Paks in a variety pack.
Wow. And they're not single serve, right? They're several serve?
No,
same product,
6 of these
packaged.
Okay. Because that's supposed to be multi-serve, right? Or no? Am I doing it wrong?
They're resealable, so they're 3.5 servings per container.
So this is kind of like an old mock-up of it. We've improved it, but this is at every HEB right now. They were the first to market with it last year, and it's done really well. So it's 6 flavors, 1 of each SKU, for a $19.99, kind of a 3 for $10 value prop.
So everyone can try the flavors and host friends and try all.
Party pack. Okay, one more for me, and then I'll let Harry get back at it. You're being very patient over there, Harry. Good boy, Harry.
I'm a good dog.
Just one more. We're talking about the different kinds of accounts that you guys do well in. It sounds like you're diversifying, which is great. But I feel like you have a bit of a Trojan horse in like the gopuffs of the world. I know you guys do pretty well with them. So how are you leveraging that type of relationship?
Yeah, we have a great relationship with GoPuff. I think, if you saw Randy speak at your conference, he's, obviously lots of brands want to be in GoPuff, but what the ones that can do differentiated things from a marketing side are the ones that support that channel. So we've really collaborated early this year, and over the next few weeks, you'll see all of our flavors and variety packs go into all of the GoPuffs, and we're going to do a lot with them around our music festivals where we're reaching out. And if you
think about why consumers are going to GoPuff, they're not forced by the same constraints that stores are. They're listening to what consumers are buying, searching, and taking that data and making their purchase decisions by that. So if you think about it, all they're doing is solving a fundamental need that we have of 3,000 people at least every day coming to our website, typing in their zip code. And if GoPuff is the first search result, that's where they're going to get it. And when we show it to the retailers, you would think it would be just an absolute no-brainer because it's literally happening every single day. And so to the credit, a lot of them are finally jumping on board, but for us, it's like GoPuff really solves just a fundamental execution problem of getting the product to the consumers who already want it.
That's an incredible advantage just to have that direct data. And talking, both from GoPuff, but really just from your website, knowing which zip codes are being put in the most often. And,
it's what we feel like is our only defense or like, that's our Trojan horse. The passion of the customers, we think is just, as long as we can maintain that and maintain that connection with them, they'll go wherever the product goes. So,
right. Well, that's a good pivot. Go ahead, Jen.
No, it was Amy.
Oh.
Amy was getting in there.
I'll just say, we started this company from the point of view of the consumer, right? Like, we were not industry executives that were like, hey, we're going to create something for millennials or for Gen Z. And that's a lot of the innovation that we see coming out to compete with us this year and in previous years is kind of that cheesy sort of remodeled, refreshed packaging just to kind of emulate what we're doing. And you can't recreate all the community that we've built. We have a Discord with over 1,000 people on it that talk to each other every day. That's their group of friends, is our
BeatBox
fan club.
Wow.
And that's really special for us as entrepreneurs, that's why we did this, is to bring people together and have fun. So that's what drives us and what makes us more efficient in marketing. That's awesome too.
You'll never be able to recreate true brand authenticity. And we've had years of it. And we have the most passionate, excited consumers. And if they had their way, we would be in 250,000 accounts tomorrow, but they don't. And so it's on us to get it to them and work with our wholesalers and retail partners to educate and communicate on why we deserve it. And yeah, we've seen a lot of innovation that we're just like, why does that have a reason to exist other than to take a space in the door to replace an old thing that didn't work last year? And it happens every single year.
And to block innovation from coming in.
Yeah, and just to block out new innovation.
Protect market share.
Oh, I mean, listen, that's been a strategy of the big boys for years. And when you look at it, a lot of those guys look like me. They're in their 50s, they're white. There's nobody that has less insights into what people are actually drinking than an old fat white guy. Trust me. Trust me, I know. and Millicent's younger, so I have connections. But that's a nice pivot into DTC, because you guys were very early adopters, and you're wine based, which does allow you into more states than others. So how has your DTC developed, and how big is that business compared to your entire business?
Yeah, the core business will always be the brick and mortar stores for us, or the gopuffs of the world, where somebody, the 99.9% of consumers, when they are shopping for alcohol, they want it within the hour.
Oh, so y'all do y'all do any DTC? Maybe I'm wrong.
We do. We do. Like right now, you can go to beatboxbeverages.com and you can order any of our cases.
It's not truly DTC because it still goes through the 3-tier. We're not,
right. It's all
it's executed through another party because of compliance.
Yeah, we're wine based, but we're not a winery per se. Also, like, we're not a product that you would find in like a wine club featuring, people that want BeatBox. They want it, as Brad said, in the next hour. But we have been able to leverage it. We'll probably do almost $1 million direct from our website this year, which is not, it's not insignificant. But it's for driving it's in markets where we haven't been in. Like, we weren't in New York or Massachusetts or anywhere in the Northeast, right?
Or
Hawaii.
But there are thousands of customers from those stores who are taking the product, and they're actually the most excited.
They're the first adopters.
They're the ones that are willing to pay the freight and get it and post about it. And so it's kind of like start a little.
And now you've got a community of 5,000 people in New York that when you launch there, you say, hey, by the way, it's now in your local bodega. So
you can get it half the price, and
you get it for, I think, a lot of people don't understand. They're like, why are you charging a 12-pack for $60? And it's like, it's still only $5, right? But we'll never undercut the retailers, and we'll never undercut the wholesalers. And so you just have to pay a premium. It's like, and people are like, well, I could buy it at the store for this. I'm like, yeah, go do that. That's a better solution. That's what we want you to do.
Right. It's that last mile is the most expensive, so you do it yourself. DIY. That's what I do. Right, Jen? Do you DIY yourself?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I delegate. I DEL. Although I must say, pro tip, guys, never delegate to Harry, because he'll say yes and then he just won't do it. Like my kids.
I'm a total yes man.
A lot of follow up with Harry to get it done, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a memory function and a laziness. Other than having poor memory and being lazy. Yeah. Other than that, I'm great.
That's true.
Well, good. Well, what else? One last question. You mentioned at the start of the call about a GoFundMe. Tell us how that's going.
Well, we're not quite at those desperation levels for a GoFundMe. But
no, not GoFundMe. That's not what I meant.
Please, just give us money.
Listen, what's that brewery? The Brew Dogs.
I need they've got a GoFundMe. So if someone wants to pitch in, it's a WeFunder campaign. So WeFunder.com. It's crowdfunding. We're doing it on a convertible note, which is just it's a way to raise some money before a formal equity price round, which we're looking at. And we're doing that because, we've hired 35 people in the last 6 months, and we want to hire another 30 people, because when you go, and we tell this to our team all the time, it's like every 6 months, we are an entirely new organization. at the rate at which we're growing, right? We were $2 million in revenue just 24 months ago. Now we're at a $35 million run rate, going to ship over 1.6 million cases. And so that requires new systems and new people. And so we're constantly having to backfill. And I think, we love our wholesaler partners and they're amazing, but if you don't have investment in people on the street, whether it's hitting accounts or working with chains, you cannot field marketing to get awareness. You have to invest
just
in that.
To work with the wholesalers on the street.
Yeah. And I think a lot of our wholesale partners say that's the price of entry now. It used to be, what incentives do you want to run? Now it's how many people are you putting in the market with me?
Yeah.
Right.
So the crowdfunding, it's great. We obviously have great investors. They've come on each round and get money a lot of different ways now. But this allows our fans. So we have over 2,500 fans who have invested up from $100 to $10,000 now have skin in the game in BeatBox.
Yeah, and you see them on social media,
it's incredible,
buying out racks and bringing it to their friends, right? Because they're owners of the business in some way. So
it fits right into the way we market BeatBox, and so it's just so fun to be able to share the opportunity with them.
Yeah,
right.
It's a brand new thing too, really.
Yeah.
It hasn't really been an option before.
Yeah, it used to be you could only raise up to like $1 million. They've just changed the law last year, raise up to $5 million.
Yeah, you had to be like a qualified investor and jump through hoops.
It limits the people you can raise from, and now it's democratized where people can invest in it. And we've done a very good job of being overly communicative on how long your money could be tied up for, what the valuation is, and what your return could be. And
we're not putting some crazy valuation on it. We're giving the same terms our high net worth investors are getting for our fans. We're not trying to, the whole point is to bring them up with us in this journey. So
right, that's cool. I like that. One of the things, knock it off, Biscuit. She's over there crying. I have no idea why. One of the things I've noticed about BeatBox that other products really haven't cracked this code is being right there at checkout. And so, this is a product that doesn't have to be sold refrigerated.
Right.
And it's right there at checkout. I see it in several C-stores, and what a great impulse buy area to be. And, how does that work in?
I think again, it goes back to making sure that it's easy for the wholesalers to execute and something that, can be replicated. And so these racks that we have, they turn quickly, right? The product is very eye-catching. The racks take up a tile in the convenience store, and you can put it anywhere, and it's completely incremental. So again, for the wholesalers that recognize that, it's like that rack generates $240 to the retailer every time it turns. And it's it's a wide margin in their store. So once they see that, and it's turning on average 1.5 times a month. So they're making $300, $350 in incremental revenue on one tile every single month. And it gives our wholesalers like, look, we want to be in the cold box, but we understand that's going to take time. You've got a lot of priorities. You've got that there. But if we can earn the business by being warm in point of purchase, then that we can win. And then we, like in Circle K, we did that for a year almost, where we were on display. Now we have like almost 5 SKUs cut into, hundreds, if not over 1,000 Circle Ks, because they saw the velocity and they said, this has earned a place in the cold box.
Right.
C-store is still your biggest channel, guys?
Yeah, it's about 65% of our depletion volume is at a C-store, 20% packaged liquor, and then 10% grocery. But like grocery is growing quickly. Like Walmart, we've had challenges in grocery because we're with the wine buyers oftentimes, and we're sold by beer wholesalers. So for a couple of years, Walmart was like, the wine team is not set up to deal with 250 beer distributors. We want to deal with 2 distributors. But now they see that they really want us, and they've moved us to the beer buyer. So we have, close to, I think, 100 Walmarts doing a test in Florida.
Pretty exciting for us to be in Walmart. If you remember our early start when we didn't know anything about in the big bag and box, we were in Walmarts. And that was when the 3 of us, and we had 1 intern managing 22 states, launching with Walmart, eyes wide open, having no idea about anything.
I mentioned we're not industry experts, right?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, a few weeks with Beer Business Daily, and you are an expert, eh?
Yeah, that's right. Very few brands get a second shot at Walmart. And we got a second shot. Credit to the Walmart team.
And the initial sales out of a few accounts, it's like, holy smokes. Like there was a few Walmarts that brought in like 150 cases. They've already depleted half of them in the first week or something. So like reordered. So like, if that's any indication, when we show that data, it's like, then all of a sudden you get a big grocery chain national program. And if that hits and some of the other ones follow along, now you are talking, you know, big time.
Yeah. And then you have to worry about supply. And at least you're in tetrapak.
That's where Aimy comes in.
Yeah. And lucky for you, Aimy. I know it seems like everything's hard to find these days, but tetrapak is such a great renewable. It ships flat. It's light. It's I don't know why more alcohol beverages aren't in. I know, you know, carbonation is a tough thing for that, but oh yeah, okay, all right. I hear you.
Tetra is a sustainable package. If you have a non-carbonated product, it's, you know, one of the most sustainable containers out there, and they're looking to grow in alcohol. And so fortunately, we are the #1 fastest growing Tetra product in alcohol, and soon to be the biggest by volume too. So, you know, we're a priority client for them. Thank God. I don't know that if we were in cans that we would get that same treatment, you know, so and we do a lot of work with them one-on-one, like on the actual sustainability side. You know, that's a big passion of mine. And so I work with their sustainability folks on all kinds of stuff. So it's been a good relationship, and the formula itself beyond the packaging, you know, it is very flexible. Like you know, it's not like making a craft spirit or something. Like it's a punch, right? So we have fortunately a flexible and at this point very dialed in supply chain to support the growth.
Yeah, our operations team is top notch. It's fully internal. We handle all of the freight for our wholesalers. We're getting it out the door quickly. We're super lucky because we hear all the time about the issues in getting cans or bottles or getting quotes for shipping and price increases. We actually saw some margin improvement in the last 12 months, and we haven't raised price. We haven't taken any price. So you know, our wholesalers are making a lot of money. They're not having to raise prices, and everyone else is going higher. And you know, we're in a pretty good spot there.
Yeah, thank God. You know, I'm really proud of my team. And, you know, we have had, you know, certain raw materials go up in price, but they've been able to make tweaks to how we do our warehousing or something else so that the wholesalers don't have to feel that.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Don't hear that too often these days. That's for sure. Jeez. Jen, you got the last word.
All right. One more question. So have you guys decided that rather than do all this crazy innovation or big innovation, right, you're just going to focus on the party punch? Because obviously you guys had things like, you know, Brizzy and other things before, but it seems like you're really just driving the party punch. Is that what you guys are going to continue to do?
Yeah, you know, we dabbled in a few other areas that we learned very quickly that it looks great on paper, but then you have to line up 2 different co-packers, different supply chains. Your tiny marketing budget is now spread across 3 different brands. You know, you're fighting against big companies that are coming after you. So when we realized that, like, wow, this BeatBox Party Punch is cranking, and we have that part dialed in, we're like, we're crazy to try and go out. There's so much runway with this brand that we would be nuts to do anything else. Now, we do have lots of really cool innovation we're thinking about over the next couple of years within the BeatBox brand that we think can go after categories that we see where the innovation coming, just we don't think is doing it right. And we think we can
tell.
You know, we'll come to you first.
Yeah, we'll tell you first when we get it all finalized. But
all
there's a couple segments that are big segments that we think we have the perfect product to give our wholesalers other options to compete, and we'll have more to come on that by summer.
But yeah, for now it's like, hey, you know, we still only have 2 or 3 flavors of our 8 flavors that we have in most of our accounts. So let's just get those out there and earn our place to bring in more innovation.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to over innovate when you have something that's working as well as BeatBox is right now.
And you know, wholesalers definitely need more innovation.
Yeah, I mean, innovation's a bad word with wholesalers these days.
I think they loved it. All we brought in this year was, you know, 1 flavor and a 0 sugar
mango.
option.
You get mango in 2 options: 0 sugar and 11%, and variety pack.
Juicy mango. This is unreal. This flavor.
Yeah,
it's the best
one I've
ever done. Yeah,
I'll pick some up. I'll head to HEB.
give you the most mass market beloved flavor in our normal SKUs.
That outsells nearly everything in the store at higher margin than anything else you carry.
Yeah, I'll pick up that variety pack and
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
Oh, my
good.
favorite's still watermelon. You can't tell me otherwise.
I love
Really?
watermelon.
Yeah.
They all sell so close. They're all selling, anywhere from 1.6 to 1.8 cases per store per month.
Really?
But watermelon's just below that. For whatever reason,
Oh, no.
it hasn't
It's
quite
the
gone.
most polarizing.
I
For
always
some reason,
think-
people love it or hate it.
Blue raz, fruit punch, pink lemonade, those three, and then tropical. We think mango will rise to the top, but the rest
This is why we're so excited to have a variety pack finally. And thank you, Rusty, to taking a shot on it, seeing it early, HEB. And it's so many customers have been seeing this stuff on social media and not able to get these other flavors.
Yeah, they say they have 1 or 2 flavors in their store. Now you can have 6, right? So
Right. Well, Rusty does watch this podcast, so
he's been
Shout-
amazing. He's been HEB.
look at everybody waving. Shouts to Rusty.
HEB was the first chain in 2014 that gave us a chance. So we were only in 30 accounts in Austin, and they wanted local, they wanted Texas, and they thought it was really cool what we were doing. And
They liked us before Mark Cuban did.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
good.
they've been amazing.
It's a good sign.
Texas is blessed to have HEB.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
definitely. Well, good. Well, thanks guys for being on. We'll check back with you this summer and see how things are shaking with you. And I like seeing a local Austin company kick ass.
Yeah.
We'll
We
keep
appreciate
rocking.
the platform to get the message out. It's always helpful.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks guys, and we will catch you in a few months.
Thank you.
Take care.